the Red versus Blue death battle has been delayed, and we talk about 2 fighting game werewolves. That and not more on today's episode of BrobusCast Death Battle Edition. Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of BrobusCast. I'm your host Brobuscus. With me today is ZDogg.
Oh wait. Sorry, wrong intro.
And Richard.
Hey, that's my line, buddy. Screw off.
But I did it better.
Hey,
everybody, how's it going?
Whatever.
Okay. That was
Alright. Yes, it was. So, Death Battle.
Yeah.
It did a thing.
Death Battle. It happened, except it didn't.
What year is this? Oh my god, we're in the end times! Everybody run!
Gosh. Yes,
Also, for the record, I'm just going to go ahead and claim this podcast's title as What Happened.
What the hell was that?
Fair enough. Alright.
So,
explanation time.
Yeah, we are actually recording this the day this should have happened.
Yeah.
It is currently October 18th, and we don't have a death battle.
No, we don't, because of because it got delayed because of Red vs. Blue Zero.
Damn you!
Okay,
I'm still hyped though.
I don't think there's a need to pull punches for this one.
No.
So I think we should explain. I think, or at least I should explain.
Yes.
What exactly is going on? Because Death Battle, Rooster Teeth, whatever, they can leave out info that, admittedly, not many people really need to know. But there are specific reasons for this delay.
Yes.
So, as we know, this was supposed to come out this was supposed to come out on YouTube the same day as Red vs. Blue Zero, the 18th season of the show. So a little bit of history. So Ben actually came up with this idea like last year, I think. Just out of the blue, he was just like, "Hey, what if we did Red versus Blue? Like, what if we did the Red team versus the Blue team?" Didn't really think much of it after, just kind of threw it out there and moved on. Like, we'll think about it, maybe it'll happen. And then Red vs. Blue Zero got greenlit. And one of the guys at Rooster Teeth was like, "Hey, you want to, like, remember that Red vs. Blue idea you came up with? You want to do that to, like, kind of support the release of Red vs. Blue Zero?" And Ben was like, "All right." So they got that greenlit, and they shoved it into the season.
Yeah.
So everything was going fine. I'm pretty sure the actual episode is like done.
To my knowledge, yes it is.
They're just delaying
information.
They're just delaying it because Red vs. Blue Zero got delayed. But why did Red vs. Blue Zero get? Let me try that again.
This makes God.
What?
Rooster Teeth
Good
really
job.
is owned by Warner Brothers.
Now what? Why did Red vs. Blue Zero get delayed? You might be asking. Well, I'll tell you. So there's a character. He's the main villain. His name is Diesel.
No, not Vin Diesel.
No, not Vin Diesel. He was supposed to be the main villain of the season. And the problem is that his voice actor was fired. This is a bit of a touchy subject.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get into a I know I said we shouldn't be pulling punches, but I'm kind of pulling punches right now. Okay. Ryan Haywood, who other Rooster Teeth fans may know as people like Smith in the Chorus trilogy of Red vs. Blue, as well as Professor Port in Ruby. He was fired like a week ago, I want to say, a couple weeks ago. For reasons I admittedly would rather not get into.
Yeah. He just done fucked up.
Yeah. Basically, you remember the Vic Mignogna thing? Yeah, it's kind of similar to that.
Great, another one.
It's kind of similar to that, except it's actually confirmed instead of he may or may not have done it.
Oh wow, we had evidence this time. I'll be damned.
It's not to the same extreme, but it is pretty bad.
Yeah.
So after he was fired, Rooster Teeth and especially Achievement Hunter wanted absolutely nothing to do with him.
Yeah.
So not only is Achievement Hunter restructuring, and by restructuring I mean taking down a bunch of videos that he was in.
Yeah, so overhauling is more appropriate.
But Rooster Teeth now has to find a different voice actor for their character. Fortunately, they already did it, which is surprising.
Yeah. So that's the good news for all you Achievement Hunter fans.
That's the good news. I think at the moment, as far as I'm aware, the only thing that Ryan was in that isn't going to be taken down is stuff he voiced in. Ruby episodes featuring Port, RVB episodes featuring Smith. They're going to stick around because they'd have to.
Otherwise, he did it in advance.
Otherwise a bunch of things would make absolutely no sense.
No, and we can't afford to delay other Rooster Teeth shows.
Exactly. So that got Red vs. Blue 0 delayed. And so that begs the question, well, since this Red vs. Blue death battle was supposed to come out as sort of a support to Red vs. Blue 0, does that mean that's going to have to get delayed as well? And it was decided that yes.
Now business-wise, makes sense.
Yeah.
I
I
get why they're doing it.
I actually want to clear up a bit of a misconception. Some people are under the impression that this is meant to be like a sponsored episode or a like The Boys. Like The Boys, or a better example, Meta vs. Carolina.
That too.
No, this is not meant to be like that. This is a death battle through and through. This is going to have their format. This is going to have their rules. This is going to have their everything. The only thing Rooster Teeth or Red vs. Blue plays a part in is the fact that it's their characters. That's it.
Yeah, basically.
Yes.
However, just because it isn't a support, isn't a sponsorship episode, doesn't mean it's not meant to be a support.
No.
Like a support or like a promo episode.
Like kind of like what one friend would do for another friend,
Yeah,
such and such.
Yeah, so in that sense, I get it. I totally get it. Honestly, all my complaints with this getting delayed is more just I want to see a death battle. That's it. Considering that people only pay attention and give us the time of day because we talk about death battle, we kind of need it, but now, yeah. Okay, basically, I don't blame them for delaying this episode, not one bit. I don't blame them for delaying the episode. I don't blame Rooster Teeth for delaying RVB0. The only person I blame is Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good place to blame it. I mean, again, this is just one professional businessman to another. I just would have. I get if they really wanted to delay if they really wanted to keep Death Battle from coming out first, then I think the better option would have just been okay. Well, just have them both just come out within the same week of each other. But unfortunately, that's again, one's already finished. The other one's got to completely get rid of all of the material and then do a rushed and haste together replacement. So, I get it too. I do kind of hate that this happened now and that there's no Death Battle, so we're kind of left in the dark.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just sucks.
Yeah, it does. It really sucks.
But I mean, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, no. I mean, it's 2020. That's everything has been getting delayed. Honestly, I was really happy. I don't know about y'all, but I was really happy when this wasn't affecting Death Battle, and it didn't affect Death Battle in any possible way, except maybe in technicals. But
it affected the schedule, not much more.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it did. It affected the schedule, but that's about it, But it's all like now, it's really affected it. It's affected.
Okay,
but
well,
it's
technically, the actual the thing that's affecting 2020 isn't still technically isn't affecting Death Battle. This is a completely different thing.
But it's just like this. I'm just saying this. This fits into the whole everything gets delayed. You get delayed. You get delayed. You get delayed. Except
basically,
the Death Battle isn't getting delayed. Neither is Red versus Blue Zero getting delayed because of pandemic. It's getting delayed because one asshole just had to go and just fuck up. So now we're just never thought. 2020 could be more harsher, but yet she continues to show she's just getting more harsh and harsh. You bitch.
At the very least, we can still say that the episode's happening, so it's not like it's getting completely canned.
Exactly. So I mean,
I remember people being like, I remember people saying like when the previews went down, does this mean like some people were in the right mind to say like this episode's probably just gonna get delayed. Some people thought I was in this boat. Some people thought it was just a technical error. We didn't quite know what was happening until they announced officially that the fight's getting delayed. But some people thought the fight was just gonna get straight up canceled, and I was like, "Are you guys serious?"
No.
Like,
I mean,
okay. All these months of work, of research, of production, of animating, of voice acting, of all that jargon. Let's just crumple it up and just throw it away because of one guy.
Let's essentially burn the money we've already spent. Like that.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. And again, you guys got to remember, Death Battle uses when it does an episode, it uses the budget for that episode. It doesn't waste a fucking cent. So for them to just crumple up, throw it out, and burn the trash bin, to saying, "Yep, this is gone. It's gone. It's never going to see the light of day." It's complete. It's ridiculous, and it's idiotic. It's something Death Battle wouldn't do.
Yeah. Or couldn't do.
Especially after it already got announced. Like we already know it's like now we already know it's happening. Like why would they just can it after already saying like we're doing it?
Why would they pull another Sun Wukong versus what's that character's name?
Kim Woo.
Kim Woo.
Yeah, there you go. Like, why would we repeat that? Like, why would somebody go to the trouble of, animating it, getting the voice acting done, and it just needing some finishing touches, only for it to just be gone forever and never to see the light of day?
All because of something that really isn't, really doesn't affect this particular episode.
No, because that's probably a question everybody's asking. Well, okay, if this is RVB Zero's problem, then why the hell is this affecting Death Battle? It's like, well,
because
okay.
they want to support their friends.
Yeah, exactly. And they're
Basically.
willing. Look at it this way. RVB Zero and Death Battle were close to the finish line, and as soon as this crap happened, the RVB Zero told them, "Can you stop a minute? Can we take a break? And then we'll get to the finish line." Death Battle,
Yeah.
of course, aren't going to say, "No, fuck you. I'm going to cross that finish line."
Yeah.
They're going
Why
to
would
be-
they? Like,
Yeah, no, they're going to be patient. They're going to wait. And, it's, again, as long as it's done, again, this gives them time. If anything, I think this is a good opportunity for them to get started on Season 8. Because Season
and I mean,
8
like,
is going to go into production soon.
yeah. Plus, I mean, like, you pretty much hit the nail on the head. Like, this episode could have come out today. It doesn't affect them. This could have come out today, and no one would think twice about it. But the problem is that they don't want they want you to think twice about it. That's they don't want to they don't want to lose they don't want to lose a friendship and a professional relationship with these people. Yeah. And like, given that this is meant to be like this is meant to be like, oh, you like what you see here? Go check out RVB Zero. It's filled with this. Because also, like, not only is this like a promo for RVB Zero, but this was like Torian's testing ground for animating the show.
Yes, it was. It was his testing ground. So that means most of the stuff you've seen in the trailer for RVB Zero, it started here. This was essentially the running ground, and it was the foundation. So it doesn't mean that. So I think people are going to underestimate just how very little RVB Zero and this Death Battle kind of coincide with one another, because they coincide in a big fucking way.
Yeah. Also, like, think about it this way. What sounds more exciting to you? Do you like what you see here? Well, go check out RVB Zero. It came out last week. Or, you like what you see here? Go check out RVB Zero. It's coming out next month.
Yeah, no. Again, that doesn't sound right, and it's just, again, guys, there are some. Again, this kind of shit happens. It's all like and it was only a matter of time until something like this happened to Rooster Teeth, and they had to ask, and they would have to ask Death Battle, hey, we know you guys have the episode finished. We know you spent all of that time, all of that effort, all of that money that we give you to make this episode look great and essentially be a promo for our new season. But can you please do us a solid? Just don't release the episode ahead of the date you announced it. Please delay it a week. Have it be delayed to next month, a week after RVB Zero comes out. So that way we can get rid of this actor. Have him be replaced, because now that's going to take a lot of that's something they have to rush in and patch up. And again, it unfortunately does mean that it's probably going to affect the quality a little bit. But again, Death Battle weren't going to say no. They weren't going to say fuck you. Why should we do that?
Like, why would they?
They literally have no reason to. So
no, I mean, they've proved again. We've been watching these guys for 10 fucking years, almost 10 fucking years, and they have never once been selfish for the sake of getting Death Battle up. They are willing to put that aside if it means something for the greater good. And this is essentially true with Rooster Teeth, because again, these people took them in, they partnered up with them, they've been giving them more and more resources than they ever had before, and all they ask for is for them to just do them a solid and not release the episode. That's essentially nothing. Again, it's all like, hey, look, I know you want me to really finish baking this, but I can't do it today. I got to do it tomorrow. Can you wait? Yeah, sure. I'll do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what does this mean? This means that Red vs. Blue is going to come out November 15th now.
Yes.
2 weeks after.
God.
So that's 4 weeks from now.
Yeah,
So,
4 weeks.
So what now? What are we just gonna wait for 4 weeks and not wait for another death battle?
Oh.
No,
Well,
well,
Go
no, because they the fight that, correct me if I'm wrong, was supposed to come out after Red versus Blue.
Yes, is now being moved.
Is now being moved to this next slot, which is a fight that a lot of people have been waiting for so long.
Yep.
Yep.
Like it's up there as one of the top 20 most requested fights of the past few decades, and now it's happening. And coincidentally, it's a Halloween themed episode. Even though, yes, technically speaking,
it's not
November
coming out on
1st,
Halloween.
Yes, but again,
it's close enough. Whatever.
November 1st is the Day of the Dead. Damn it! So it counts.
It's close enough.
It's what even if that wasn't the case, it's one day after. No one's gonna bat an eye over it.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, it's one day after Halloween.
Exactly.
So who the fuck cares?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, what's that matchup?
Now you may be wondering what this matchup is, even though you probably already saw it from the intro. So who the hell cares? Anyway.
So when you think of Halloween episodes, what do you think of? Do you think of Jason versus Michael? Do you think of anything involving like Freddy Krueger? Do you think of like I don't know, maybe like Venom vs. Chrono? We had that already. Isn't that our Halloween episode? No.
Look, we need to look if we're gonna do a Halloween episode, we need to go back to the classics. We need to go back to something that dominated Halloween, that made people shit their pants whenever they saw this kind of a creature. And no, it's not vampires.
I was just about to joke about that.
Screw you, Dio versus Alucard. We are talking about werewolves because it is Saber Wolf from Killer Instinct versus John Talbane from Darkstalkers.
You want to talk about the past few months have been filled.
Time.
Yeah, the past few months have been filled with this one phrase. It's about time.
Yeah, no, it is. It's very much about time. Like here, it couldn't be more about time because oh my god, it's all like again. Werewolves and Halloween go together like bread and butter, But more than that, it's finally the return of Killer Instinct
and more importantly, Darkstalkers.
Yeah.
Because might I remind you, viewers, Felicia versus Tawakaka was the last Darkstalkers matchup, which was episode 9.
Years ago. Oh my god.
It was episode 9.
First Leonardo and now first Leonardo and now John. It's like holy shit, man. We're really teeing up.
Oh, don't forget Star Wars.
Can't forget. Yep.
Oh yeah, Star Wars is a lot.
Thank you. So yeah, we're really going for those deep cuts.
Yeah. Which, I mean, it was inevitable Darkstalkers had to make a reappearance at some point.
Yeah, we just didn't know what they would return with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Are they going to return with this? Is Jeddah going to come in? We're going to get, I don't know, Dimitri. I don't know much Darkstalkers characters.
Yeah, no. I mean, I've been waiting for another Killer Instinct character. I mean, the last one we had was TJ Combo, and that was
season 4.
That was 3 years ago, wasn't it?
God.
To be fair, that was a very, very welcome holdover because man, that fight's so good.
Yeah, no, which that fight obviously kicked the ass of Sector versus Fulgor, you fucking piece of shit. I hate that matchup.
Understandable.
Yeah, no.
I think it's fine. I totally get why people. Okay, to be completely real, just to get a quick review of that episode of the way, totally understand why people don't like it. I thought it was all right.
Yeah.
I hate still hate the live action Mortal Kombat sprites though.
Yeah. God, they're not using them anymore.
So yeah, this is quite the matchup to happen now. I've seen this requested since season 2.
Yeah.
And I don't care what kind of matchup it is. When that stuff happens and it finally gets announced, man, is it satisfying!
It is.
It's very satisfying. Again, this isn't even my most requested matchup. Like, I've never even thought about this matchup other than, okay, what's the most appealing thing this matchup could do to me? it's got fucking werewolves, and I love the classic Universal monsters. And we've already had Dracula, so why not a werewolf? So it makes sense. So good on them. Yeah. Now for the next Halloween, can we get a mummy or Frankenstein, please? Please, please, please. I'm kidding. Probably not. Anyway.
So this is gonna be this is gonna be the interesting one. So the big thing, okay, I think this was kind of a given, but just in case it wasn't, I'm just gonna go ahead and say this now. This is a sprite fight.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because how could it not be? To be fair.
Yeah. No. Lewis, of course, worked on it, and John storyboarded it.
The reason why it's a little iffy on whether or not this is actually a given is because, and this is actually why it took so long for this fight to happen. Both John and Saberwolf's official sprites do not look great together.
No.
One uses the traditional Capcom style sprites that we have all grown to know and love, and the other uses live action sprites. Yay. They don't look. If you've seen most of their Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat fights, they don't look good together.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Again, this is probably why when they did TJ Combo versus Balrog, they used the actual 3D models because holy crap, those 3D models are so detailed and beautiful. But yeah, no. Here I kind of get why they wanted it to be 2D, and the reason why it took so long. And maybe, and again, this is probably a good thing on their part because they would have to completely overhaul or create these sprites from the ground up. Now, that does raise an interesting question, though. Will these be normal customized sprites, or will these be puppet style?
I think it would. I think they're going to go normal on this one with maybe a few puppet elements, but so, more along the lines of like Wally versus Archie Sonic.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So it's funny. Ben actually brought this matchup up a few years ago. I think this was when we were getting Ryu versus Jin. And he said this exact same thing. Like, the reason why we haven't done that fight yet is because their sprites are just, they don't mesh together.
Yeah.
Well, for one, like, Saberwolf doesn't have good Capcom style sprites, and John doesn't have any model ever.
Yeah, because Darkstalkers is strictly 2D and hasn't had a new game in God knows how long.
Darkstalkers is dead.
Basically.
Despite what Capcom might claim, Darkstalkers is dead.
I mean, to be fair, that he could have been a Marvel vs. Capcom, but nope.
What's Marvel vs. Capcom?
Shut your mouth.
Exactly.
Fortunately, it was some funny. Like, not even like a year later, not only did John get a fan-made custom model, it was a bit on the cartoony side, so it wouldn't look well with the hyper-realistic Saberwolf. But also, Saberwolf got a Capcom-style Mugen sprite, which I imagine is what they're going to be using for this fight.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't Duo use that when he did BB Hood versus Saberwolf?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yep, that's the one.
Which, go check that out, by the way, because it's a good episode. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. No need to apologize. Also, the big selling point for this one is you like brutality in your death battles? Oh boy, you're gonna be having a field day with this one.
Oh man, like, okay, fun fact. So I didn't get to help out on this or but I did give an opinion because John, the storyboarder, I'm gonna have to preference that. John, the storyboarder, was told by Ben he wants him to when this fight was finally getting ready to go into production, they had an idea for the death, and Ben said, and I paraphrase, "Try and make this death as gory and fucked up as you can. And immediately, John, the storyboarder, came to me because he knows how much I love Samurai Jack vs. Afro Samurai and its gory brutality of a death. And he asked me, okay, what do you think? I'm like, I think you should do something like that. And he said, okay, now I know where to start. So, so this death, this death is going to be a sight to behold. If you're a gore fanatic, or if you've been missing those gory, flesh-eating deaths, then I think you're gonna fall in love with this. But if those of you have sensitive stomachs,
don't watch this.
Away. Yeah, don't watch this. Just don't watch.
Yeah, like on one hand, heck yeah, we haven't gotten brutality in our death battles for a while.
No, we haven't.
But on the other hand, that's also kind of a double-edged sword, because it's like, if you don't like brutality, just don't watch this episode, because it's going to be filled with it.
And again, I mean, now it makes sense, because again, these are fucking werewolves. Werewolves are the most savage creatures on God's green earth. Like, werewolves will fuck you up. They're not like vampires where, they'll just suck your blood and then do all this. No, werewolves maim people. So I imagine there's going to be a lot of maiming in this episode, which gets my blood pumping.
But yeah, this is hyped up by not only like the animators but also the researchers.
Yes.
Which I'm gonna point out just real quick. I normally would save this for the debate aspect, but I'm just gonna say it now. Saber Wolf is being handled by Lousy.
Woo!
And John is being handled by DJ Tiki, our boy.
Man, my boy, Lousy, and our boy, DJ. Holy crap! What a dream team!
And to add on to that dream team, Swan is writing this one.
The boy.
Fair enough.
The boy.
And Tiki has pointed out that all three of them are super invested in these characters and super invested in this matchup.
Okay then.
Which is good.
So, and at least from Tiki's perspective, their investment shows.
I would imagine.
They poured their heart and soul into this one.
Yeah.
So if there's any fight to have like this big hype from the researchers and writers, it's probably this one.
Like, holy crap, this is like the third one, because the first one was Obi-Wan versus Kakashi, which rightfully earned. The second one was the boys. It was alright.
Rightfully-ish.
Yeah,
it was fun.
But this one, okay, I think it's gonna be a contender. Like, I believe it's gonna live up to the hype. It will be the hype.
Yeah. And this is all this, and the funny thing about this, like normally for me at least, I base like my excitement for an episode off of like my investment in these characters. Like Wally versus Archie Sonic. I'm a huge Sonic fan, so that got me on the spot. On the flip side, you have stuff like Sasuke versus Hiei. I care very little for those characters, so that didn't stick with me.
Ditto for me for Obi-Wan versus Kakashi, and what's a recent matchup? Krona versus Venom.
That's another one. Krona vs. Venom is ruined by my lack of investment in Soul Eater.
And it's ruined by my lack of investment in Venom as a character. So yeah.
So what's funny about this one is that I have no investment in Darkstalkers.
Neither.
I have not played any of the games. I've not seen the OVA. I've not seen whatever else they've got.
Ditto.
My experience with Darkstalkers is Marvel vs. Capcom, and the fact that David Kaye is the freaking greatest as Jeddah.
I know about John the Wolf because again I have a little bit of knowledge in Darkstalkers, but again Tao Kaka and John were probably the only two that stuck out to me because everyone else It's all like, okay, again, and John's a fucking werewolf, so I'm like, oh, he's a fucking werewolf? Awesome, I like him now.
Here, let me name the Darkstalkers characters I can name off the top of my head. Okay, so there's Felicia, there's John, there's Jetta, there's Morrigan.
Felicia, damn it, got mixed up.
No, that's it. That's all I got.
Yeah.
On the flip side, I'm a pretty casual fan of Killer Instinct. I do own the rebooted game. I like it a lot.
Yes. Same.
I mostly main TJ with
Same.
with a lot of I dabble here and there, and by dabble I mean I play him quite a bit as Arbiter.
Yeah, I tried to play as Fulgore. I got my ass kicked.
Yeah, Fulgore too. I played Jago for the longest time because I had the demo.
Nice.
But the thing about that is, I didn't play a whole lot of Saber Wolf.
Yeah, no.
I always acknowledged that he was there, and I was excited to see him. Compared to other KI characters, I didn't play as him much. I plan to change that when next time I boot up the game, but thanks mostly to this death battle, but yeah, as of now, I don't have a whole lot of experience with Saberwolf.
No, neither. Most of it just comes from visual appeal because again, he's a werewolf. I love werewolves, but TJ Combo was my main, and he was the one Killer Instinct character I wanted to get in. I'm happy he was in because again, he was a man who had everything. Then he fell from grace, and now he's trying to redeem himself by proving that he doesn't need these things that he was granted. So that kind of spoke to me.
Plus he's voiced by Patrick Seitz. So
absolutely.
that kind of won me over, just like that.
Wait, really? Scorpion voiced him?
Yep.
Wow! Oh my god, that is so cool. Okay, well, yeah, now he's won me over too. It's all like, yeah. So I love TJ, and
it's funny because, cool. Funny little side story about TJ.
Yeah, sure. Go.
When I saw his ultimate in KI, I thought it was Richard Epcar, not Patrick Seitz. He sounds a little bit like Raiden to me. So I looked it up and I was like, okay, it's not Raiden, but that's Scorpion. All right. This was before I was super into Patrick Seitz.
Yeah, no.
So I looked up. I was like, oh, okay, it's not Raiden, but it's Scorpion. So it's, I guess, all right. And now I just hear Patrick voicing a bunch of characters I really liked in games that I've played a lot, and I'm like, all right, oh, now he's really won me over.
He's awesome.
But yeah, okay, so that's pretty much our experience with these characters and what we're excited for this fight. Getting into a bit of production, we already mentioned this is a sprite fight.
Yep.
It has been confirmed. I don't know how they're gonna do this, but funny. It's funny that they decided to confirm this. There are going to be voice actors for these characters.
Interesting.
Now, okay. I didn't know this because it just goes to show how much I know about these characters. These two can talk. They have dialogue in their canon.
Okay.
So there's a little bit there. But mostly it seems like it's just growling and howling and things that dogs do.
Werewolves, lichens.
They're dogs. So when initially I was thinking they just wouldn't do it. This would be the only fight this season that wouldn't have voice actors, which would make this stick out like a sore thumb. I digress. But then someone asked Lewis on Twitter, like, yo, is this fight gonna have voice actors or not? And then he says something along the lines of, the wolves will talk.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, well, all right then, voice actors confirmed. I imagine though it's gonna be more along the lines of like Machamp and just
Yeah.
have a voice actor and to do werewolf noises.
Yeah, and whatever small dialogue there is, they'll
Yeah.
do it. But I don't think it's going to be dialogue heavy. I think it is just going
Oh,
to be very
absolutely
typical
not.
wolf heavy.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So that's something interesting. This is weird to think about because okay, I think Brandon's gonna be doing the track for this one. It only makes sense.
Yeah, no.
But what's interesting about that is that aside from John, however the heck you pronounce his last name, the guy who did Red Winter, Brandon did all the tracks for the second half so far.
Yeah, no. There's been very little of werewolf there, which again, there you go. That's all like, man. It's all like these are two werewolves. Wait a minute, where the hell is werewolf media? Why aren't they doing this? So like,
Yeah,
it's in their name.
Last we heard them, they did a guitar solo for Gods of Destruction. But that was it. That was it.
Odd.
Aside from that, we haven't heard them since Wonder Woman vs. She-Ra.
Well, maybe it could have been that two of the composers got assigned this half and that half. So maybe watch
Werewolf do like the next few episodes, like the last few episodes after this.
No, it's all like
maybe with the exception of Red versus Blue, because I think they could just get Trocadero, or however the heck you pronounce their name. The band who does Red versus Blue music. I imagine they'll probably just get them like they did with Meta vs. Carolina. But yeah, so. And who knows? Maybe the soundtrack will come out and be like, "Hey, you thought it's Werewolf." I was like, "Oh, all right, down. Let's do it."
Slightly disappointed because thematically, werewolf media. This fight is between two werewolves.
Yeah. Look, all I'm saying, like, if this, like, as long as this track is a banger, I don't really care.
We need a banger track.
I can't speak for Darkstalkers, obviously, but KI music is so good.
It really is.
Not talking about like obvious ones like I'm Back to Rise. The main theme, Arbiter's theme, Glacius' theme, they're all so good.
Most definitely.
So I get like what they wanted to do with like Venom vs. Corona or Winter Soldier vs. Red Hood, have a fight that fits the theme and fits the theme of the matchup, fits like the idea they're going for. I get wanting to do that, but like it kind of leaves the tracks themselves with nothing much to go for. Aside from, hey, they blend into the fight pretty well. Like Red Winter especially. I listened to Red Winter. Here's our small review on that track for a second. Red Winter's just okay. I'm mentioning this now because we actually totally forgot about it. When we were talking about that fight. To be fair, it wasn't out at the time. Although small review on Madness and Venom. It's not bad. It's fine. Since it's actually out now. It's probably gonna take a few listens though. I make a note of that in our podcast, which is totally obvious, which is totally out by the time we're recording this. I'm not implying anything whatsoever. It'll be out before this does. I can confirm that much. I've actually been editing it briefly while we were doing our last discussion. I'm actually kind of done.
Nice.
I just need to look into it, see if I need to fix anything. But yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much that. So I guess that's that.
Yeah.
So if we don't have anything else to add, I think it's time we get into the debate aspect.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the interesting thing. If you had asked me who wins this fight like a couple of years ago or something, I would have said John without any question.
Yeah.
But now it's looking kind of interesting because, okay. Full disclosure: if you scale these two to the highest their universes can accomplish, John wins. Stupid easy.
Yeah. No.
Darkstalkers is ridiculous.
Yeah, like we're just getting like star universal levels of power.
Well, it is an anime after all, so.
Basically.
I think people like Dimitri or Jeddah get like galaxy level.
Something like that.
Which is nuts. Meanwhile, the highest you can argue for KI is like large planet level.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you look at both their universes, Darkstalkers wins stupid easy. And that's not accounting for their speeds or their hacks, of which they're both insane. But here's the thing: they don't scale to their highest stuff.
Yeah.
More especially John. Funny thing about John, in canon, I guess it just depends on how they handle, like what media they research. If you look at just the games and nothing else, John is pretty good. I think you can argue getting him to like town level. From what I've been hearing, this is just from going off of what I've been hearing and from what I'm getting notes of in the blog. Because I would not be able to tell you otherwise. And that's fine, but the thing is, like, I'm pretty sure most of that is through scaling. Like, John doesn't really have anything going for him on his own.
No.
Whereas Saberwolf, the most comfortable you could scale him to is about like city to like island, which puts him on a level above John. Okay, here's the advantages and disadvantages we have in the blog.
Okay.
Saberwolf, likely stronger and more durable.
Yes.
More vicious and savage fighter. Superior regeneration and survivability. Okay, this one I can actually note. This is because Saberwolf got implantations from Ultratech like TJ did. But like TJ, Saberwolf decided, you know what?
Keep them.
Nah, and just ripped them out.
So he ripped them out too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he didn't kill himself in the process. So yeah, he's got that regen. He's a very survivable character.
Yeah, then that kind of improves his chances a little bit.
He has 2 ways of boosting his stats. This is new to me. Probably something in the abilities section I'll look into. He's kept up with trained opponents before. This is true. He's kept up with like Orchid and Jago.
Yes.
By the way, if you scale him to this is a I'm not sure if you would actually be able to do this, but if you scale him to Jago, he wins.
Yeah.
And then the other one is just is a joke advantage. We include those from time to time just to make them funny. Disadvantages: he's likely slower. I don't really know much about John in terms of speed feat, so I can't really comment on that.
Yeah, same.
Very simplistic moveset. This is true. Saberwolf moveset wise is just, hey, you like werewolves? John actually does have a few flashy moves to him, so yeah, that's pretty fair. Unlike unlike Talbane, lacks martial arts training. This is also true. Once again, you like werewolves? That's pretty much Saberwolf's fighting style in a nutshell. More prone to going feral and operating on pure instinct. Fair. And then more joke disadvantages. One is possibly not dead, but KI needs to be brought back.
Gosh.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. KI 2013 has not gotten any content in a while.
And it probably never will.
Just need to wait.
Give us a new game.
Just give us. At this point, you might as well just give us a new game. I'm wondering when the last content drop was. Was it when they put it? Was it when they put in Arbiter and Rash?
I think so.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Lame. Okay.
Yeah.
Although in fairness, Arbiter getting in is the freaking coolest thing.
I liked that a Battletoad got in.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Battletoad fan.
And yeah, and then it's pretty much a repeat for John except reverse. So being slower, that's gonna be a problem. By the way, as far as bias is concerned, I'm rooting for Saberwolf. Personally, if he loses, I'm not gonna be depressed about it like I was with Sonic. But it's just gonna be oh, my preferred character died.
Yeah, I mean,
what all right. It's not like I'm not used to that at all. What are you talking about? But the thing is, the jump from city to town, or town to city rather, is massive. If you only go for John is town level, but Saberwolf is city, then that's 1,000 times. That makes Saberwolf 1,000 times stronger than John.
yes.
Jeez.
And at that point, you're not beating that. That's and arguing speed, I don't know much about John's speed feats, as I mentioned earlier, but Saberwolf is able to keep up with people like Glacius, who, comparable to Glacius, who outpaced Arya, who can think 1,000,000 times faster than any supercomputer and process events down to the nanosecond.
Jeez.
So, pretty speedy. So, yeah. Although if John is faster, that's ridiculous.
Yes.
But at that point, so basically, right now, I think putting bets on Saberwolf is a safe bet.
Yeah, sounds like it.
That's the impression I'm getting.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, cool. My preferred character winning. Although I honestly, I think this fight's just gonna be one of those things where it's I'm gonna focus more on the fight than the result.
Yeah.
Fights like Volley versus Sonic, I was like, okay, this fight's gonna be cool and all, but please, Sonic, don't die. And then he did.
Yeah.
Or for different reasons, Bucky versus Jason. Not just because I prefer Bucky, but also I really didn't want to see Jason win. Because man, am I tired of seeing a bunch of people say "Oh, he was trained by Batman, therefore he wins."
Yeah.
Even though that's not how that works.
Fair enough.
Sometimes I'll root for a character just because I think they deserve the victory. They should win, and I'm tired of hearing otherwise. I almost rooted for Dracula for that reason.
Yeah.
So yeah. But not, this time it's more like, okay, I want Saberwolf to win, but I'm not gonna be like super upset about it if he doesn't. It's just gonna be like, oh, he died. All right, okay, that sucks.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much all I got.
Same.
Yeah.
So right now it's looking like Saberwolf wins. This could change tomorrow, for all we know.
Yeah,
And we're all gonna look freaking stupid.
And it probably will. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
It is.
Although you know who the real losers of this fight are? The fans, because their franchises are dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
At this point, I'm starting to think that Killer Instinct's just going to become a dead franchise. Fan base is going to be a cult following at best, and that's depressing.
Sad.
Because I like it. I like Killer Instinct.
Yeah, me too.
So yeah, it's pretty much all I got.
Yeah.
Same.
Just gotta hope for a cool fight.
Yeah, but I'm banking on it being cool. So.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't. The outcome really doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, there's some fights where it's just like I don't really care who wins. I just want the fight.
Yeah.
And then there are other fights where I'm like, yeah, I want this fight, but I also don't want this character to die. So yeah, really should have had this was gonna be a shorter one anyway, so I'm not too bothered, but probably should have had someone on who's knowledgeable with Darkstalkers.
Probably.
Yeah, that's all right.
We got through.
Yes.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. I knew this was gonna be a shorter one.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So yeah. I do want to say this real quick, just because we kind of like talked about it off screen, and I think it's I think it'd be a good idea to talk about it here. So basically what we're gonna do after John versus Saberwolf. So when that fight comes out, we'll be doing a podcast episode on it.
Yes.
We'll be talking about it. We'll be talking about our thoughts and why we most likely liked it.
Don't jinx it.
That's true. But chances are we probably will be just at the end of that episode. We're probably just going to be getting the tease like, "Hey, Red versus Blue is still happening." So we're probably not going to be getting any sort of new announcement.
Nah.
So that just kind of begs the question: what are we going to do? Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do.
What are we gonna do?
I'll tell you what we're
kidding.
gonna do. We're going to be doing
Nothing. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, shut up.
I'm joking.
We're gonna be doing a sort of part 2 to our Red versus Blue discussion.
Ooh.
We're going to be we're gonna talk about John versus Saberwolf as we normally would. I just hit my mic. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about what we thought, whatnot, whatever. And then we're going to go back to talking about Red versus Blue. Because there's a lot we could have covered, and there's a lot we probably should have covered, but we didn't because of time. And some info we just forgot.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be going back to that. We're gonna be talking about this more. I think the plan for now, I assume this is all right with you guys to bring Mate back.
Yeah.
Because he still had a lot to say.
Okay.
And so do I, because I've been continuing my binge watch of RVB.
Okay.
I'm on season 14 right now. Just thought I'd point that out.
Dang.
Nice.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. The only big positive to this delay from a viewer's perspective is it gives more people time to watch Red versus Blue.
Yeah, ZDogg.
What? You heard nothing. I don't know what you're talking about.
Do we have to do another one of those deal things?
Gosh dang it.
I really hope not. But
Yeah.
Probably not.
it's reaching that point, dude.
Yeah.
Get on that.
I know. I have a lot of things to watch. Shut up.
That is no excuse.
I know it's not
Watch it or you're fired.
Okay, that's not your decision, my dude.
I know.
Damn.
I will probably eventually get to it, but it's just I'm lazy. And I don't like people forcing me to do stuff, but anyway.
So yeah, that's the plan. So
Yep.
look forward to that.
So stay tuned to that in the future.
Yay.
So
In the meantime, I'm gonna go eat.
Yeah.
I probably should too.
Yeah.
So yeah. With that, that's all we have to say. So look forward to John vs. Saberwolf. We are.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Look forward to our discussion on that. Look forward to our part 2 on Red versus Blue. And then look forward to Red versus Blue.
Yes.
So yeah. So that's all we have to say. I assume.
Yeah.
Yes.
So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Yep.
Bye, everybody.
See ya.
Bye.
Have a good one.